Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Daniel bin Osman Jailani from Group IC 115AA. Will present our topic today, which is IMU 302, Zakat Management in Malaysia. Zakat, in terms of etymology, it comes from an Arabic word which is zakat, yazku, zakaan, zakatan, has the meaning and an-numuwu, wa aziyadah means grow, increase, clean and good. And then zakat, in terms of terminology, zakat is defined as a certain count of assets and the like in which the Sharia obliges to issue it to the poor and the like with special conditions. In these slides, we will discuss about the institution that manage zakat in Malaysia. In Malaysia, there is no zakat law on the floor a nation that can unify the zakat management system. In addition, the management of zakat is also still based on the policies of the federal territories and the respective states. Similar to the legislation, the zakat management system in each region also follows the policy in each state. The management of zakat in state is still business of each state, which has the freedom to determine the cost of the administration of their respective zakat. To explain the study of zakat in Malaysia, it will be presented several institutions that manage zakat in Malaysia, namely the management and administration of zakat in the Federal Territory and the state of Selangor. The management of zakat property in Federal Territory is one of the important tasks that must be implemented of the Jabatan Agama Islam Wilayah Persekutuan Jawi in the collection of zakat. Jawi divides into two forms, namely zakat fitrah and zakat property or zakat harta or zakat mal. The collection of zakat fitrah is managed by Jawi employees, while the collection of zakat harta is through a subsidiary established by the council, namely Harta Suci Senjaran Berhad, better known as the Zakat Collection Centre PPZ. All zakat collection proceeds will be collected in the Baitul Mal savings managed by the Baitul Mal divisions for distributions programs. So in the Federal Territory, management of the zakat collection and distribution is carried out by different institutions. The collection of zakat is handled by the Zakat Collection Centre PPZ, and the distribution of zakat is handled by the Baitul Mal directly. In Selangor, the management of zakat was initially handed over to an institution known as the Selangor Zakat Centre PZS. Selangor Zakat Centre PZS was established on 15 February 1994 with its registration with MAIS Zakat Senjaran Berhad, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of the Selangor Islamic Religious Council MAIS. PZX became fully operational in October 1995. Currently, PZS has changed its name and is now known as the Selangor Zakat Board, or in the Malay name, Lembaga Zakat Selangor, of the Selangor Islamic Religious Council. For 10 years, the Selangor Zakat Board has guided and invited Muslims to always perform zakat as one of the obligations for Muslims who have the advantage of sustenance given by Allah SWT. Lembaga Zakat Selangor has also done the best service for its target group, namely payers and recipients of zakat. This task is performed as a form of responsibility to the trust given, namely to bear and carry out the trust as Amil and Amilin, which is a commitment from Al-Azak MAIS with motto leaders of Ummah in socio-economic balance.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Akmal Farhan bin Baharom. Alright, now I will present about management of zakat distribution in Malaysia. Okay, the management of zakat distribution in Malaysia has started since pre-colonial era. Okay, Muslim who want to pay zakat at that time will pay to the ustaz or religion teacher. This ustaz of the religion teacher are known as Amil, and they will personally distribute the zakat to eligible asnaf. Meanwhile, during the colonial era, the management of zakat was placed under the authority of the religion council, and the collection of zakat in each village will be done by villager imam. Okay, the collection of zakat will be hands over the government as a source of finance for the Islamic administration. Next is collection method of zakat fund. There are three methods of zakat payment in Malaysia. The first method is appointed staff, which known as amil. There are a requirement to become an amil, such as the amil must be a Muslim, a mukallaf, need to physically fit, and knowledgeable about zakat matters. Okay, next is internet banking via a zakat website. Okay, the Zakat Management Agency has provided some online zakat payment facilities such as e-zakat pay, e-majikan, and e-zakat online that can be used by Muslim. Okay, and last method is salary deduction, which automatically deduct from monthly salary if the Muslim register with the scheme. This scheme is great to help Muslim that sometimes busy with their work and forget to pay zakat in person. Okay, now we go to asnaf who are entitled to receive zakat. Okay, based on Surah At-Taubah verse 60, there are 8 groups that are mentioned in Al-Quran. The first is Al-Fuqara, the second is Al-Masakin. Okay, there are two different between both group, which Al-Fuqara is likened to someone who need 10 necessity but only be able to get 3, but Al-Masakin able to have 8. Okay, next is Amil. Okay, Amil is appointed staff who manage zakat. Okay, the next asnaf is Mu'allaf. Mu'allaf is someone that just convert to Islam. Okay, the next zakat is for Arikab, which is slave, Al-Wariman, those who have debt, Fisabilillah, people who fought in the way of Allah, and lastly is Ibn Sabil, the traveller who was on his way.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Syamil Hafiz bin Muhammad Siddiq. My metric numbers is 2019975163. So now I would like to continue our next subtopic, which is 4.0, Development of Zakat Management in Malaysia. Now we move to 4.1, Aspect of Management and Development. The management and administration of zakat in Malaysia is controlled by the State Islamic Religion Council, which is SIRC. So the main purpose of SIRC is to centralize all the Islamic religious activities at the state levels. Next, SIRC also become a member of Sultan Advisory Councils concerned on Islamic affairs for each state. So when the system is already exists, the federal government has the limitation from the involving the state decision made up by the state, and also regarding to the zakat collection owned by the state. Next, there are 13 states in Malaysia and 3 federal territories. Each has a sultan and a religious council which acts as the responsible body for the collecting and disbursing zakat. Next, zakat management and collection. Zakat management is the responsibility of state through the majlis. Majlis is a short form for the religious council that is a constitutionally protected and constitutional state right. So as I said before, there are 13 states. 9 states have a sultan and 4 states have no sultan. So for the state that have sultan, the religious council follow by the state of sultan. But for the state that have no sultan, the religious council follow by the Malaysia king, which is Agong. Same goes to the 3 federal territories, which is no sultan. And then the religious council will follow by the Malaysia king, which is Agong. And then you can see the collecting zakat. To make it clear for this table, The table also already shows that how the zakat is managed and the function of the state religious council. The illustration also shows the relationship between the federal government, the state of sultans, and the state religious council. From this case, one may assume that the federal government may be on the top of the hierarchy, but that is not the case. However, since zakat is public money, the national government's corruption agencies have the responsibility to review the records and financial statements of any religious council at any time. As for management, the federal government could cooperate, but the state of sultan is the highest authority when it comes to the management of the religious council, the overseas, the operation, and also of zakat institution. Aspect of asnaf development. Zakat distribution method is still focused on the periodical form of transfer payment, which is unable to solve property issue in the Islamic society. The current concept of distribution has to be refreshed with a new concept and new approaches that are capable of producing more entrepreneurs among the asnaf. So, when this concept has been implemented, the asnaf will be more independent and able to support themselves and their families and also their lives to change for the better one. Nowadays, we can see that economic and business projects are seen as a new mechanism for distribution of zakat. So, the long-term of goal of this project is to produce and raise competitive Muslim entrepreneurs. Capital of zakat that is distributed to the asnaf who meet certain criteria would be used to start or to continue their business. In Malaysia, these states have been actively distributing the zakat in the form of business capital, which is Selangor and Federal Territory of Kuala Lumpur. So I hope that this alternative that created by the Zakat Selangor can also practice by the other states like Negeri Sembilan, Pulau Pinang, and other states to make this system of distributing the zakat collection to the asnaf more clear and perfect. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Zaman Da'an bin Effendi, and today I'll be talking about the aspects of fund management development and also about the development of e-zakat. First of all, under the aspects of fund management development, there are 3 points where we can see that the development in zakat fund management has been made. The first is through technology. In technology, we can see that first of all, the zakat fund management is based on the principle of Sharia, which means that every act or doings inside the zakat fund management is based on the Islamic law. Secondly, nowadays most of the zakat institutions provide the muzakir, or known as the payer, with facilities to distribute their own wealth to needy people, which means that they do not have to go through zakat institutions to distribute their wealth, but they could also do it by themselves to help those who are in need. And lastly, nowadays technology is used in the process of distribution and zakat fund management. With technology, the process of work could be fastened and also could also be eased by technology. The second point is digital based. Nowadays, most of us use digital based money instead of using physical money. So the first point is that with digital based, the collection of the digital based funds are able to be carried out. Secondly, the collection of zakat is now usually used through information technology. For an example, e-commerce or the marketplace, or even zakat applications and online purchases, and also in Islamic banking. This means that it is more easier for us to pay for zakat or to purchase products for zakat by only using information technology, which is also the internet. And last of all is about fintech. Financial technology is applied in the Islamic financial system nowadays to expedite or to ease the work of those workers in this industry. Fintech refers to the application of technology within the financial industry. For an example, payment can be done to financial data and also analyzation such as credit scoring. With all of this, with financial technology and the information technology applied in the financial industry, in the Islamic financial industry, zakat could be paid or could be carried out more easily. Next is about e-zakat. First of all, we should know a little bit about e-zakat, and that is Malaysian zakat institutions are applying technology in their operation nowadays. Not only nowadays, but it has been since the early 21st century. Selangor is the first state in Malaysia to introduce e-zakat in the year 2002. Under e-zakat, we have 3 points where we could see that e-zakat is applied in the operation of zakat nowadays. First of all, the internet plays a significant role in e-zakat development because e-zakat uses the internet so that people could access e-zakat more easily. Zakat institutions provide e-zakat for easy payment, which means that we could pay it online, and payers can calculate and communicate with their zakat institutions easily. Because of that, with e-zakat, payers could easily communicate with zakat institutions because nowadays most of the e-zakat provide chats or calls with their operators. For the other 2 points are applications, and for the first application of e-zakat that we could see is that according to Tabung Baitul Mal Sarawak, they provide a website for Muslims in Sarawak to pay their zakat. The name of the website is Baitul Mal Kame, which is their official website, and Muslims can also pay their zakat through their salary cards, which means that nowadays people usually pay their zakat by cutting their salary at the end of the month. The next example is that Selangor is a state which also provides a website for Muslims in Selangor to pay their zakat. Selangor is one of the state with the most collection of zakat. So with this website, of course, it would be more easy for them to operate their zakat and operate their management in zakat. Their website is straightforward and can easily be accessed by anybody, and it is more easy to pay zakat online nowadays, and it is agreeable that it is actually really easy to pay zakat online nowadays compared to last time where we had to go to counters to pay our zakat.